All right, good afternoon. I'm heading out hunting here for the evening. It's a little bit before 3 p.m. and it's October 6th, Sunday, October 6th. Gonna head to a place that I have been to before, but not yet this season. At least not hunted. There's a lot of oak that I'm going to be going through in this area, and I know that they're feeding in that oak. And it's warm right now. I mean, it's warm in the sun right now. The sun's definitely hot, but it's in the low 60s is the temp. So once it dips into this evening time, it's going to get cold real fast. It looks like that we're going to dip right down into the low 50s before sunset. Sunset is at 6:17, so I mean we're talking able to hunt until 6:45ish, and at 6 o'clock it's supposed to already be in the low 50s. So I should almost have like an hour or more in the low 50s, which should hopefully get them up on their feet and moving, and heading towards food a little bit earlier than usual. So this is one of those days where I'm hoping that the movement's going to happen during shooting light, when it's normally been happening just after shooting light. So like I said, I haven't hunted this yet. I've been kind of just wanting to stay out of it until there's a really good opportunity to hunt it, because there's a lot of deer up there, and it's going to be a great spot for like the whole season. So I've just been waiting for the right time to hunt it and make sure that I don't just go in there in the wrong set of conditions and blow it all up for no reason with my scent and everything like that. So today's the day. We got a nice southeast wind that's going to just allow me to set up on like the northwest side of this whole section that I hunt up there, and be on the northern side of this bedding area in between the food source, which is the acorns and the oaks, and then the bedding area. I'm going to try to get as close into the bedding area, which is an overgrown cut, get as close to it as I can, because I want to be as close to them where they were bedding as possible, so that when hopefully they stand up, I'm right there. Versus being closer to the food, that's going to make it less likely that I'll have contact with them during shooting light. So try to get in towards the bedding area, be on top of that bedding area. Don't try to just sit over food and expect that they're going to be there during shooting light. When you know where they bed and you're confident on where they bed, get in on that area, not the food source. When you don't know exactly where they're bedding, sometimes sitting over a food source, if you don't have the ability of using cameras or something like that, and getting up super high in a tree, can allow you to use binoculars or something to try to figure out which direction they're coming from, and then work your way back that way to the bedding area. So anyway, I've already figured out kind of where they're bedding. I've already figured out exactly what I want to do tonight. I just don't know exactly what tree I'm going to use, to be honest. Sometimes I go on with an exact tree in mind. Today is not one of those days. So I'll try to figure that out on the fly and just kind of work my way up quietly, tuck in on the bedding area, and hopefully something pops out during shooting light within range, and I can get that on video for everybody. So I will check in again once I'm up in the tree and kind of show you what the setup I have is. So looking forward to it. Good evening.
I chickened out. I didn't go quite as far into the bedding area as I thought. As I came up here, the wind's swirling pretty good. It's not just straight out of the southeast, which is kind of normal with the thermal change that's going on right now. So I'm not really worried. I'd like to be about 150, 200 yards more forward than I am. But I decided not to push it. I decided that it's going to be a lot better to just sit here, and if something really comes in, great, but not push it quite yet. And, you know, it's still the first week of October. I think that this place is really going to heat up here in like 2 weeks ish. And so I'm going to just kind of save it, because I walked in and there's still a ton of acorns. And with the temperatures dropping and everything like that, I think things are going to start to really kick off here. I think the scrapes are going to start to rock and roll. I think that the bucks are going to really start packing on the pounds, start getting antsy. See, right now I can feel the wind. It's on my back and blowing up just a little bit towards the bedding area, which I don't like. So that's why I stopped. It's just not worth blowing up the bedding area by getting right in there and laying down my scent on it. Not worth it. So I'm just going to sit down here and hope that maybe something will just mosey on down. If so, great. If not, hey, I'm still sitting here outside, and I've got a great view over here to my right, to the west. That is probably going to give me a great sunset. So that's going to be my win for the night, is just being up here in the tree and watching a sweet sunset. So basically, to give you an idea where I am, I'm in the middle of a cutting that's in between a bed area and a food area that kind of gets pretty wide open here. I'm not looking for a giant mature buck to be in this area. I would be very happy if a doe walked by. And I know there's a lot of doe activity in this area. So that's kind of where my mind's at, is just on a doe tonight. It's not about getting right in there onto the bedding area. For the bucks, I would have to really tuck in there if I wanted to see the buck before dark. So maybe the does will pop out and I'll get a shot and I'll get a freezer queen. Maybe not. We'll see. But I'll kind of give you an idea where I'm at here. I'm up in some hemlocks right now that are going to make shooting lanes kind of tricky. But this was a good little spot for me to kind of tuck in. So right up here is a tote road coming down my way that they travel. Down in front of me here, another tote road from pretty fresh cut that just happened not that long ago. There's grass all throughout the cut, so they kind of browse on that as they go to the acorns. So we'll see. I could probably see something for around here that's way out of range, but be able to see it pretty easily. So that'll be annoying if that happens, but hey, it is what it is. All right, I'll give you a little 360 around me, and then we'll just sit and we'll wait. All right, well, I could just not upload this video, but I know that there's a lot of new hunters that watch what we're doing, or at least some new hunters. I shouldn't say a lot. And let this be a lesson that everybody messes up sometimes. I don't know why in my head I said to myself 30 pin high when he was going to be just over 30 yards, which was true. I should have held 30 pin center and let that arrow drop, or let the deer drop into the arrow, because usually the deer will drop. If you're at 30 yards, you hold 30 pin low. And I said 30 pin high. So when he dropped, the arrow went right over his back. My mistake. 110% my mistake, and I'm pissed. It was a little fork horn. Nothing incredible, but dude, I mean, that's a beautiful, beautiful deer. But he just wasn't mine tonight. It just wasn't meant to be. I saw about 4 does, and then I had that guy come in. So he definitely didn't know what happened. He stood around for a while, tried to figure out what I was, and then I think he saw me move a little bit too much and just walked away. He didn't blow or anything, just walked away. When they're not your deer, they're not your deer. And it's just not meant to be. And I am very thankful that it was a clean miss and that I didn't wound him. Clean miss right over the back. I'm going to get down and I'm going to check that arrow to completely make sure that there's no blood on it. But he wasn't acting hurt. I watched it. It went clean over his back. So I was shaking, man. I mean, that was just, it surprised the heck out of me. I was watching these does down here, and all of a sudden I look up and I see him walking down. I'm like, oh shit, he's gonna come in range. And I think it was just the shock of it all had me shaking, getting ready to go, and I just didn't think through the shot properly. I said 30 pin high to myself. And I think it's because, I don't know, but I do think it's because I'm in an area where there's a lot out of range of me, and I've been talking myself through a lot of ranges around here of hold high, so that, you know, the arrow will drop into where I need it to be, or the deer will drop into the arrow. Or, yeah. No, not the deer will drop into the arrow, that the arrow will drop into where it needs to be, because it's, you know, there's a lot of like 40-yard shots around here, so and there's a lot of 50-yard shots around here too. And I've got, you know, if I got to make a quick shot, I've been telling myself hold high here, do that there, and so I've just had a lot in my head, and I overthought the shot. I needed to hold 30 center. So Went right over his back. Is what it is. Happens to everybody, right? So far this season, though, I have seen well, 8 deer now. That's an achievement in and of itself. Some people in New Hampshire don't even see deer. So anyway, I'm going to get my shit packed up and I'm going to go watch Sunday Night Football. Because that's the way my day is going to go. But love it, man. I love being out here. Even missing on a deer is better than a day on the couch, right? So you guys have a good one. And I'll see you on another video. Hopefully one that ends a little happier. Have a good night.